Hey there. Due to a technical glitch, I was unable to bring this upcoming video to you in a smoother fashion, namely trimming out the small talk that's part of the conversation. So just hang in there with me, would you? What is the chance that you'll ever talk with somebody who thinks life insurance is exciting? Nil. Unless, of course, you work with it. Well, I had an incredible conversation with Leon Bassett, and he had me laughing, he had me thinking, it's clear that he's really passionate about the subject. And seeing as I have to renew mine, or rather change mine, I got interested. Now, I have my own rep, but he was really informative about what I need to talk about with my financial advisor. Anyhow, click on the following interview. I wish I could have made it just part of this current one that you're looking at, but it didn't work, and I didn't want to postpone posting it any further because Leon deserves this exposure. He and I met at a networking meeting that I found through LinkedIn. Without further ado, please click on the video with Leon, and in the description box or details box, you'll find out how to connect with him. Thanks.
Yeah, you can. There you go.
I guess that takes care of that.
Yeah, you got it. See, because now you're in control. You're the producer. 3. How's your husband?
Oh my God. Norm is doing well. He is assembling various computers or disassembling. I'm not sure what to. Oh my God. Of course, someone chooses right now to use the weed whacker. Do you hear it in the background?
No, not really, because you got a good microphone. So good for you.
God. Wow.
That's good.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up at all until you said something.
So I think he's actually doing electronics pickup for a school district. Now that I think about it, I realize that's another market I never even thought about, because we do free electronics recycling, picking up. So for businesses, businesses and organizations, and so basically not residential.
Oh, reason why not residential?
Well, because we don't know where their computers have been. And if someone stole a computer and then tries to get rid of it, then the police comes and it's like, well, I have no record.
Yeah.
Plus, it might have porn or some other unsavory materials. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah. You watch what?
No, that's not my world. No.
It's like, oh my gosh.
No. I'm always of the belief if you do anything like walk on sand at the beach, and you look back and the water comes up and washes away, those footprints are still there. You just don't see them.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh my God. You are the wordsmith or the sentence smith. Oh my God.
I mean, if you really think about it, if you put the dots together, you walk across sand, right?
Yeah.
And nature comes up with the tide, washes it nice and neat, but the footprints are still there.
Yeah. Makes me want to be on the beach all of a sudden and just dip. Although it's funny, are you big into seawater or not so much?
I can be. I'm kind of a beach person,
Sure.
I find serenity at the beach. I find having my feet grounded in the sand feels really good. Not necessarily have to immerse myself in the water, but yeah, I love that edge kind of thing and just kind of watching the horizon because I know exactly how many miles it is away.
Oh.
And I'm like flabbergasted that I can stand here and see almost 75 miles away. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Now that I have some water shoes and they look, have you seen water shoes?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
So we're going to be going on a getaway all the way over to Wisconsin. I know.
Wow. Wisconsin?
Yeah, I know.
So that means up to the lake area?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like 4 hours from here. Maybe 3. And to my aunt-in-law's cabin, and she's got the lake is right there. So definitely it's time for water shoes.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because I never thought about the lake per se because, when you live in California, you've got beaches all along the coastline. I mean, it's just one place where from the top of the state all the way down to the bottom is all beachfronts, it's just, if you say you can't find a place to go on a beach, you're crazy. You must be living at the bottom.
That's true. And speaking of which, what a perfect segue that if people are in deep water financially, and I'm thinking about what you offer them. I mean, what does it take you to get them to be super vulnerable since you don't know each other and for them to spill their guts about how much they messed up.
That's a really good question. Number one, they've got to be in tune with themselves. And here's the question for them. What is your relationship? If it's I'm gonna go with a man for right now. So what is your relationship with your wife? Because I know he or he's married, okay? He'll go, oh, it's good. I say you're a liar.
Ah! Ah! After that.
Because see, then it grounds the person to actually connect with him because I qualify that before I even say that because it can be kind of insulting. But I say, I want to let you know how we're going to help you understand your relationship with money. And then they go, okay. My wife and I, we have disagreements. I said, you probably have disagreements weekly. Everybody does because number one, that's what makes your relationship strong. Think about it. Because
Yeah.
you feel free to say what you need to say without being too insulting, but being accepting, right?
Yeah, true. And it's so personal because it's all about what you think is important when you're purchasing something.
Right.
Very much psychological. Would you agree? I mean, whether
I,
you
yeah, but the logic behind purchasing and the logic behind investments are two different things, right? Because we all know everything about money, right? There ain't nothing we don't know about money. And as we shake our head and say, yeah, I know all about money. And then when I ask you this question, then your face goes blank.
mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think IRS is really about.
The ones who want to take taxes from you.
No, that's not their job.
Okay, well,
They're a debt collector. They're the largest debt collector on the planet. Their job is to collect debt. They just happen to call it taxes, but
that's
it's
a good point.
debt. Yeah. And when I say that, people go, that makes sense because what happens if you don't pay your taxes?
Yeah, then it becomes debt.
It becomes debt, right? And what do? They establish it as a right to collect.
Yeah.
And we can charge fees, penalties for lateness, right? And interest on money you owe us. Interest on money you owe us.
Yeah.
Same like the bank, interest the money you owe the bank. Wow, what a dichotomy that is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So why do you pay your fair share or why do you pay more? Which one do you do?
Well, the fair share.
There's no such thing as fair share when it comes to the debt.
True. I don't know, depending. I mean, if I just go by what the paper says I owe. Like, okay, percentage, okay, sure. I did what? No.
Well, what if I could teach you how to pay zero?
Well, for business ownership, that's one way. So
yeah. As a W-2, there's a way as well.
So yeah, tell me more.
See,
what are you talking about with this?
Yeah, because once you get people to understand the relationship they have with their spouse or their significant other, and you bring it over to money, they start really being more open because they really want to understand because we treat money like we treat our spouses. You got to make an investment in your spouse, right? You got to nurture your spouse, right? You got to communicate with your spouse. You got to accept the rejection. You got to accept the loss when things don't go your way, right?
Right.
Because when it doesn't go,
you're not paying during pay time for W-2s, then you're going to be paying a bleep load afterwards.
Well, if you're learned, you don't have to pay Uncle Sam anything. But we're not learners because we're not trained to be learned how not to be a part of the mainstream system because we've been told, oh, come on, you're a good citizen, pay your taxes. Do you know that there was a time there was never any taxes?
That's true. Yeah.
And the inflation on nothing that doesn't exist doesn't even count. There's no recession.
But so fill me in, remind me how I would be able to do this if I were working with Mr. Bassett here.
Well, what I would teach you how to do is do like most people who understand the product that most people don't get, and that's insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, let's just say, what do you think insurance is for? First thing people do is this. Mortality. Don't talk to me about mortality.
Oh,
That's not my bag.
I was thinking in terms of even car insurance or health insurance, but yeah, life insurance. I mean, it's protect those you've left behind or potentially a loan against your from yourself.
All the above. And these are
Yeah.
things that you've learned, things that you gather together. But here's the bottom principle. There's a key word called leverage.
Yes. Leverage your own money.
Right. So I say, hey, George, have you been on a teeter-totter?
I'll be George. No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, I have. Matter of fact, I've been on a merry-go-round too.
Oh God, yeah, I don't like teeter totters. Oh,
Because what do you do on a teeter-totter? You leverage, right?
I'm trying to remember. I know seesaws and not teeter totter. What are those like again?
That's
Oh,
a seesaw, right?
Yeah.
And some
Uh,
people call them teeter-totters. The same.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I weigh more than you and you're on the other end, I get the.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
If I get enough leverage, I can get you to go, woo, right?
That's true.
Right.
Oh,
So here's what a W-2 person needs to learn how to leverage money from other institutions. Because
yeah.
we leverage money from our parents when we we're little kids. Mommy, if I make my bed, will you give me allowance? And mommy
Yeah.
says, sure, Junior, I'll give you money for making your bed. And he makes his bed. He doesn't make it perfect, but he covers it up, even with his
Yeah.
toys inside the sheet. Mommy, I'm
Yeah.
now where's
Yeah.
my $25?
Yeah. What's this Playmobil under the pillow?
Right. Exactly. You're getting it now, right?
Exactly.
Now, once I do the humorous part with my clients, they start to relax. And I go, what is your risk tolerance when it comes to leveraging things? What is your risk tolerance when it comes to leveraging things? And they start to thinking. I said, look, let me help you out. You've been to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Now, how much money do you put in your left pocket to say this is the money you want to lose?
I should ask my husband that because he's the one who likes to go to Vegas. I guess $100
Go,
bucks.
go with the question, right? Go with the question, right? You go with it and you think
Yeah.
about it because most people don't, right?
Hey, but what are you willing to lose? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what's in your left pocket is what you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in your left pocket. Because in your right pocket is what your gains are, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, which does Uncle Sam pay taxes on? Make you pay taxes on?
The,
Come on, you got it.
oh,
Gains.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you lose money, then you can write that off. Anytime you lose money, you can write it off.
I didn't know that.
Well, think about it.
Money.
Think about it. If your house gets broken into and you've got a good CPA, he can write the damages off on your taxes. It's a C. Loss and profits. You're shaking your head. Yeah.
Too. But no.
You can.
It looks like we've been broken into because it's so messy.
I'm just giving you one. I'm not telling people what they don't already know. They're just kind of clueless to it. Like, yeah, I never thought about Schedule C. Who says you can't file Schedule C as a W-2?
Huh.
There's no rules around that.
Tell me more about that. I gotta look at you. I was like, what? So losses
and profits, right? On Schedule C. All you got to do is look at the form. Most people don't read the instructions on that form. It says any loss, somebody breaks in your house, or even if you move, right? It's an expense, right? It has nothing to do with a W-2. You just have to claim it as a loss because Uncle Sam wants you to move to your new job so you continue to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, if someone got all excited wanted to work with you on it, then what do they have to put in their suitcase to go and lug it over to you?
All the above.
A Macy's suitcase.
Yeah. But just think about what you're saying to yourself as you gravitate to this information, right? So if you take that loss and gains and you put it into a cash value life insurance policy by overfunding that puppy, you can use it as your sources to buy assets with and take care of your expenses as well. But you've got to really overfund it.
I would imagine.
Now watch this. I go, hey, George, what's your savings account look like? Do you got 9 months of savings in there in case something happens? 9 months? I can't even count 1 month.
I know, but yeah.
So why do I say 9? It used to be 6.
Oh yeah. Oops. Good question.
Yeah, why do you think I say 9 now?
Because we had COVID. I don't know.
Well, that's a good answer because any answer is the right answer. But if you have 9 months of your savings, what you make every month, so if you're making $10,000 a month and you collectively gather 9 months worth of that, what's the total of that?
A baby. I'm just kidding.
It might be twins, right?
Yeah.
You're getting this. You're totally getting this.
I'm like, then I hear 9 months. I'm going, okay, there's a gestation period.
Yeah, there is a gestation period in there. But just imagine 9 months of savings.
Yeah, that is quite attractive.
And here's the other thing about we have stress around money, just like we have stress around relationships, because
Yeah.
somebody said a long time ago, sex and money kind of go together,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that without getting into the dichotomy of it. But if you're, but if
Dang,
you're,
really hoping.
see, I can never do this in front of the mirror. See, it doesn't work.
Oh my God.
But this is what I do with my clients. I get them to the point where after I get them to understand all of these metaphors, then they go, you know what? What do you have for me that I could create an asset for? I said, number
Mhm.
one, let's get you a base so you feel comfortable about
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. That's where the 9 months comes in. That
Mm.
gives you risk tolerance, just like the example about putting money in your left pocket that you can lose. You don't get stress out of money that you can lose. And
Yeah.
also, if you lose it and you do it right, you conduct some kind of business while you're doing that, you can write that whole Las Vegas trip off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't tell Norm that. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
No,
all you got to do is create a home-based business, right? That's all
yeah.
you got to do. You can still be a W-2 and a 1099. Nobody
Oh,
knows. Nobody says you can't be both, right?
oh, my days of W-2 are hopefully over. 1099 for sure. But
Absolutely, because it's a tax advantage, right?
yeah, it just I'd never really did learn the corporate lingo that well, or the kiss
It's
up
not.
to somebody.
It's not designed that way.
No.
I'll give you an example. Okay. Do you remember the first day of school for you?
Which grade?
Oh, it doesn't matter. The first day. It doesn't matter. College, elementary, middle school, kindergarten. The very first day.
Yeah, vaguely.
What did you do when you walked in the classroom? Don't think too long. What did you do?
College, first
First thing you did when you went into the classroom.
assess the room.
Nah, you don't do that.
Ah, you call me a liar. So what'd you do?
Hey, I try to find a seat.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
See, when you assess something, you're looking around, but what you're looking for is a seat, right?
Or the
Now
cute
watch.
guys.
I'm going to tell you.
Before
All the CEOs sit up front.
Yeah.
All the W-2 people sit in the back. And the people in the middle, they're confused.
Ah, that's so interesting.
But now here's the dichotomy. What do you do when you come back to that same classroom the next day? Where do you sit?
Usually the same place you previously
That's
sit.
right. That's conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Education system is conditioning us to be a part of a system to control us.
For sure. Yeah.
We're here,
The
right?
fix as the
Right,
lab.
like the Matrix, right. But not to go down that road because most people get it after I talk to them about it. They do the same thing with you with money. You go to college, first thing you do when you go to career, everybody wants to give you a credit card, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I have two friends who do this, and I tell the story really quickly. I have two friends. They got financial aid from the government. And you know what they did? They didn't even go to class. They took the money and they bought 2 houses and flipped them and gave Uncle Sam their money back. And they had the asset.
Huh.
Today, both of them are wealthy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
That's
that was 22 years ago.
That's a creative way to do it.
Yeah, you borrow some. That's back to leveraging.
Yeah. He's like,
Now, just think in this conversation, I've given you 4 nuggets. We've only been on a call 15 minutes.
generous dude.
No, because I always do this with every client. I don't tell them anything they don't already know. I'm just a comedian making a laugh out of it so they can register in their head. And I
I
go,
know
okay.
that.
And I give them one more. I said, look, do this. Do me a favor. Go get a secure credit card. Secure. I got good credit. I said, I don't care if you got good or bad credit. Just go get a secure credit card, right? Put your
Yes.
money in there. Put as much money in that card.
Well,
Now, what do you have? What do you have?
what-
What do you have?
Visa or MasterCard?
No. What do you have? You have a credit card, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
But
Credit.
you also have a secure card that you don't have to worry about the bank keeping your money.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
And you leverage the money they give you because they're using your money to secure the money they have.
Yeah.
Right. So that means you can make your limit whatever you want, right?
Yeah. If you
You
really want
take,
to go.
yeah, and you take it, right. You take their money, depending on how much you put in there. If you go to a certain part of this country, you could buy a house on that credit card.
Yeah.
It may not be a nice one, but you can refurbish it, right?
That's
right?
true.
And you're making a good human being by providing a place for somebody who may not be all that, but are willing to pay the rent to you at market rate.
Sure.
What do you have?
Oh my God.
And you didn't use any of your money.
You just
And then
have
they
a,
give the bank their money back. You don't close off the credit card because utilization comes in there. Your credit score goes up. Bam.
that's true.
And you got your money back because now the bank's going to make it an unsecured card. Wow. And you got an asset.
Let me guess. You know a lot of flippers among your referral partners.
I used to be a flipper myself. That's why I know the technique.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I only talk to people things I've done myself.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Methodology doesn't work, but experience does. So what would you like for me to put on the table as regards to cash value life insurance for you? Now that you've heard all that, because number one, if you put enough in there, you can leverage the money in there. You've got the protection. You've got all the living benefits that now are being newly offered to folks. You're making your premium payments. They're giving you 8% return on your money.
mhm.
Taking money out, only borrowing it at 2%. You're still a winner, and you go out and you buy an asset. You give the insurance company their money back. If you choose not to, they'll just take it out in your death benefit and give your heirs the rest. Meanwhile, that money is still being credited with the interest, right? Are
Yeah.
you a winner? And your family just built a legacy, and that's what the Rockefellers do, the Vanguards, the Rothschilds. They all legacies based on cash value life insurance. They don't use any of their money. Even the Koch brothers did that.
Yeah. I know
Even-
that was that I
even-
used.
Yeah,
20.
I can name a whole bunch of them people, but yeah, even Donald Trump did it. Zuckerberg did it.
I had this down. I don't know what to. Anyway, I'm just.
So now that I've entertained you for about 15 minutes, this is what I say to the client. Where did we go wrong in the conversation?
Where did we go wrong in the conversation?
Yeah, because our brains go to that place of, oh, this can't be real.
So, where did we go wrong in the conversation?
Yeah, where did we go wrong in the conversation?
I'm missing something here. Where did we go wrong?
We didn't go wrong. I only do that
Okay.
to stump the client so he won't go into that analytical part of his brain. Because that's when you say, you go, instead of doing this, is what financial planner says. Whoa, where you want to get started at?
Hmm.
And what does our brain do? Well, let me think about it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. And then how do you figure out those who are at the end of their term life insurance, for example?
Oh,
You
that's a very good one. So someone said, so I got term insurance. What do I do? I said, well, look, have you ever rented an apartment?
rented an apartment
Yeah, rented an apartment.
decades ago.
Okay, so did you make any money renting that apartment?
Oh, like renting out one to make money.
No. You're renting an apartment with term
No.
insurance.
Mm-mm.
Term insurance is just renting death insurance. That's all.
Yeah,
No cash involved.
I've noticed.
Yeah. If you come to the end of it, you have to call the carrier and say, okay, I'd like to renew it. And they're going to say, how old are you now?
Yeah, exactly. You're too
And
close
then,
to death.
yeah, and then they're going to say, well, you can, but it's going to be maybe 4 or 8 times the premium payment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then you go, are you kidding me? Oh, no, we're not. Because in about 30 days, you won't have any kind of insurance.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh my God, what do I do now? And then you talk to your cousin or whoever, your uncles, and they'd say, well, go get some more term. You can with another insurance company. You just start all over again. You just start all over again, right? Now watch this. The average American, we'll stick it in the great country of America,
Yeah.
lives about 85 years old. So
Yeah.
how many 30s do you get in 85?
A lot. No. Exactly.
Yeah. And if you live past 35, you're not going to get any insurance pretty much. Because most insurance companies cut it off at 85 because there's no more time.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
now
that
you have no insurance. Then you have to go buy burial insurance at 85. Wow. $1,000 a month.
So, what information would people have to haul over to talk with you if they do a FaceTime or Zoom chat? What do they have to be prepared with?
Well, number one, I think they have to be prepared to be. Uh, I'm smiling because they're never prepared, no matter how I set it up.
Oh yeah.
Because they're always going to come in there. The naysayer. We just had a guy the other day. He's 47 years old, and I usually tell people some similar stories so they can kind of get it. 47-year-old guy, got 3 girls, wife, got a good business, got term insurance, $500,000, paying $39 a month. His term is about ready to be up. He's 45 years old, and he wants to buy another 20-year term. He's going to be 67.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that's the best way to go. I said, look, go that way, go that way. Because number one, you're not going to get anything back because you're not going to die.
Yeah.
And here's the dichotomy on this one. Insurance companies love term insurance.
Yeah.
They only pay out less than 1 or 2%.
Yeah.
It's a cash cow.
It is. Yikes.
Because we human beings are cheap. We'll put insurance on this thing called cell phone, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no
We
kidding.
don't have to, but we will. We got to put car insurance because it's mandated. If we didn't have to do that, we wouldn't do that either. Insurance is the lowest thing on the planet. I just try to get people to understand that it should be at the top of the food chain for you.
Yeah.
Because you can get what we call now a combo. You get your life insurance and you get term and let the term cover your mortgage.
That would be cool.
You know why, right? Because people say, well, I got mortgage insurance. That's for the bank, not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have house insurance. Well, that's because in case you have a fire or a flood, that's all. You're not going to get anything. You have to die for your family to get anything.
Yeah. It's
And I try not to say it that way, but some people are like stuck, and I go, well, you have to die. Some people want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. I want to go to heaven. Well, you got to die. Well, I might as well just go to hell, but you still got to die.
Oh my God. And the good news is I no longer have a mortgage. Ha ha ha.
Hey,
we did a few things right.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm gonna be changing the life insurance bit because you're paying to get nothing. I'm going, what the hell? I don't know.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I tell people, look, I know life insurance can be an expense, but look at it this way. Even if you get $100,000 in its permanent insurance and you're paying money into that, you can leverage out of that and pay more money into it. When you have more money to throw into it, that's just more money you can leverage from that life insurance policy. Does that sound stupid to you? They go, no, not really. I said, well, you put money in the bank, you borrow money to buy a house, but you do all this liability stuff, but you don't think about buying assets. You know what? Check this out, George. If you buy $1 million policy today, you are worth $1 million. The bank and the IRS, all the companies are going to say, hey, George, what are your assets? Oh, I'm worth $1 million. Oh, here's your loan, buddy.
Yeah.
versus I don't know how much they're worth, but I have my house. Those are
Mm,
those are leveraging. Do you outright own your house? How many people outright own their house?
yeah, very few.
So it doesn't belong to you.
I am
And
kind of percentage it is, but haven't done my Google homework yet. But what information for you can we put in the details section of the channel so that, in fact, I better get something to write with, so that they can find you more easily, so that they can take their suitcase of information.
yeah, tell them to bring it. First of all, what I want people to do, I'll send you some information about one of the best life insurance companies in America, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're the only one, it's National Life Group. They're the only ones who offer term insurance with living benefits. Those
Mm,
living benefits, as you probably have an idea, terminal, Alzheimer's, they even have fertility and all the other ones, chronic, critical injury,
mhm.
things like that, on a term, 20, 30-year terms. And they give you 15 years to convert to permanent insurance and keep your payments the same.
Boy.
So that's one piece. If people want to go, I call the conservative way. I'll use that way because I don't like that word cheap. There's no such thing as cheap, and I believe that people are frugal,
Yeah.
makes sense. But if you do a permanent whole life or IUL or something of that nature, I recommend people doing IULs because there's two extensions of insurance. There's term and whole life. It's just a hybrid of the both, right? That gives you flexibility to do what you want. It's just information and mindset. That's all it is. So I can give you the information in your email, and you can look at it for yourself and all the folks you want to send this way to me. But I'm going to say it out loud to folks. I'm not
Yeah.
here
You
for
guys
you.
listening? Okay, listen, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not here for anyone to buy anything from me. My premise is servitude. I want you to know that if you leverage assets and create a legacy for your family, try to imagine your family being like not characteristic of any one particular family, but your sons, your grandkids, their grandkids never have to worry about resources. Try to imagine what that's like. Your family having resources forever. And I walk people backwards. Try to imagine your father and his father set it up so you personally today don't have to work. Would you be thankful? Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Even all the charities that you've been supporting could continue regardless of what's happening, whether you die or not. But you say it so much better. You're gonna die.
Because remember, once we have resources, we can be even more impactful to society. And individuals like you and I, we won't have a foundation or a nonprofit because it's tax purposes. We'll be making an actual impact in people's lives to make their lives better. You know what I mean? I mean, like, watch this really quickly. We help a woman get a used car from the county when they have county sales on their cars. And we
Oh
got
yeah,
her a car for free. And then what happens next? She was able to go to work. And when she got to
that's
get to
cool.
work, she didn't have to worry about daycare
Yeah.
because she could take her kids to school
Oh
all
yeah,
because of a car. And the nonprofit that gave her that car,
that's a big
hey,
deal.
that's impactful.
That's a nice chain reaction.
I can't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I can't even imagine that being on social media or any place else on the front page of any newspaper. Can you imagine people seeing, hearing that kind of stuff? I mean,
Yeah. Not really, no. It does remind me that I won a car when I was working for the county. I won a car with the Roundy's Bag of Dreams sweepstakes, and
oh
I
yeah,
was so
yeah,
cool. So, but anyway,
powerful,
uh,
very powerful. So, is there anything else I could share with you to make you happy today?
they've already made me happy because we already had our finance talk, and you made me laugh, and you made my vast audience here laugh like crazy, and then talking about death.
I don't mean to put so much emphasis on die, but
No, but making the most of when we're living, and
right,
we've made
exactly.
sacrifices for the country. So now go and play whatever you're going to play.
Absolutely. And you know, the thing I love about our conversation is very genuine because I can see your self-expression that you really took in some information. I like the way you
Yeah.
leaned in and you were just all into it. And I really appreciate that. And just think, 30 minutes went by just like that.
That was amazing. Yeah. And you guys, look at what kind of insurance you have, because I realized I have term insurance and it's not doing anything for me. So it made me kind of mad. But anyway, anger management. We'll see you all soon. Thank you, Leon.
Absolutely. Take care of yourselves
Good.
and
Well, thank you, sir.
enjoy life.
Good.